These are the Topo Trailventure 2 Mid Waterproofs. My initial impression of these shoes was positive, but that's why you should not judge a shoe before living through its lifetime of service. In the end, the shoes wore prematurely and I faced a catastrophic failure on the trail, something I find unacceptable. Topo describes the Trailventure 2 as a, quote, lightweight and rugged waterproof hiking shoe built to take on any trail in any weather. Founded in 2013 by business insider Tony Post, the company sold in 2022 to publicly traded Designer Brands, which owns Designer Shoe Warehouse, Keds, and Hush Puppy Shoes, among others. This is not a small shoe company, but part of a big business. What I liked about these shoes is they have a wide forefoot and they feel like you're wearing your bedroom slippers. They're really comfortable. They do have a gaiter trap, but the gaiters are so awkward as to be useless. And they do have an odd feature of capturing water and dirt between the outer nylon of the shoe and the inner goretex-like lining. I grew up poor and I like to wear things out, so I bought these shoes on sale, but I didn't wear them for about 6 months while I wore out my older pair. I only wear these shoes for hiking Grand Canyon, and I've reduced my visits to Grand Canyon to about once a month. My standard hike is 16 miles, so it's pretty easy for me to calculate the exact mileage on these shoes. I started wearing them in October 2023. 4 months later, the uppers wore through. That's 64 miles. But that wasn't the end of the world. I patched them up with some caulk and continued to wear them. By June, the foam on the sole of the shoe had compressed enough so that rocks were starting to hurt the bottom of my feet, and I was considering retiring the shoes. That was at about 128 miles. But I like to wear out the things I own, so I wore them again on my July hike. These shoes have about 144 miles on them. About 3 miles from the end of my hike, I looked down at the shoes and noticed on the left shoe, the upper was separating from the sole. On further inspection, the right shoe was doing the same thing. The screwdriver goes straight through. I was fearful the soles would fall off before reaching the end of the hike. On rim-to-rim hikes, I carry duct tape for just this problem. But on rim-to-river hikes, like I was on this time, I do not. And not just one shoe was failing, both were. If I were on a rim-to-rim hike, this would have been occurring in the deep canyon with 10 miles left to hike. That would be a catastrophic failure of both shoes and could have left me stranded if I did not have duct tape. To me, that's totally unacceptable. My initial inclination is to pull these uppers off the soles to get a sense of the quality and construction. But as I mentioned, I grew up poor, and I intend to glue together these uppers so that although they're not reliable for hikes, I can use them for utility work around the yard. Also, these shoes list for $180, close to $200 with tax. Amortized over the life of the shoe, the cost is about $1 for every mile walked. I mean, the IRS allows you 67 cents per mile for the total cost of operating a car. These cost $1 a mile. That's just too expensive. I stopped wearing Ultras because the soles deteriorate. But the issue is not a catastrophic failure. You can keep hiking in the damaged shoe, unlike the Topos. Also, Ultra honors its warranty and replaces shoes that fail. They've done that at least twice for me. When I contacted Topo about the issues with their shoes, which I bought more than a year ago, they said, tough luck. After a second contact, they offered 30% off a new pair, but they'd sell them to me without a warranty. I can get 20% off at REI with a 1-year warranty, so effectively, Topo offered me nothing for these inadequate shoes. I strongly favor a foot-shaped, maximally cushioned shoe. The Topos were extraordinarily comfortable, but a shoe that lasts less than 200 miles and effectively costs more than $1 a mile is just not acceptable to me. To date, I've never had an issue with the wear of the uppers on the Ultra leather shoes, just the sole. And the updated Olympus 6 has altered the sole design in a manner which appears to address the premature wear issue. So I'm going to go with Ultras for the time being. The Topos lasted 200 miles. These are my daily walking shoes, Ultra Olympus 4s, and these went about 1,500 miles. You can see why I favor the Ultra. So in conclusion, the Topo shoes I liked so much initially just wore out too fast, and more importantly, the separation of the upper from the sole on both shoes at the same time was the kind of catastrophic failure that could leave me stranded on a long hike, and it's just not acceptable to me. For me, this is my last pair of Topos. Happy hiking to you, and thank you for watching.